Well, oh no, we good. Oh, yeah, but we good. Ready?
Share.
It's recording.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Listed 30 is the New 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm a headphone.
CrisxmasOnDemand.
SmileyJizzle. We in the building, y'all. Oh man, it's been a lot going on over the weekend. Um, what's her name? Jess Hilary is about to get canceled again.
What she do this time?
It's that tranny shit, like doubling down on the not, they're not women, only women, people that were born biologically as women
There are some
can
trans
have
that
children.
agree with what she's saying. I just see, and there's two, because one was on her side when she
I
first
agree
said
with
it,
what she said.
and then no, but it matters if they're in that community.
Right.
Like so, all of them don't feel that way. Like don't feel that they're really women. They know the difference. They just feel like they wasn't supposed to be. So they put trans as a way to distinguish themselves. So there are trans people that agree with what Jess is saying, and some spoke out before. But I just seen an interview yesterday where this guy was talking. He was like, "I know I'm a man." He was like, "A trans." He was like, "A trans woman can't have kids. She can't do this. She can't do that. I'm aware of that. But this is how I want to live my life, and I know there's a difference. I don't think that I'm a woman. Like, and I don't, and they don't care if people misgender them. If they say he or she, he don't get offended by it or whatever because he knows that's his life, and he don't expect people to like just jump in line and be like, oh, you're they or you're she or whatever. Like he's so all of them don't get offended when you don't say, oh, I'm. If you say I'm not gonna call you that, you were born a man or whatever. Like so.
I just think that certain people know that whatever they do, nobody's just gonna accept their lifestyle.
All right.
And I feel like that's the logical approach. You know what I mean? The people that believe that, that's the logical approach. Like, yo, somebody's not gonna understand your lifestyle, but the important thing is you be yourself, right? And that's cool. That's respectable almost. Even though you might not respect or condone anything in their lifestyle, you can at least agree with facts. You see what I'm saying? And to me, that's a fact. Like, you know what I mean? Like certain things are natural, certain things are not natural. So we're not gonna
Oh, use
say
this one first.
we're not gonna just act like that's not a truth, right?
Right.
So I just feel like um I just feel like as long as you're not being delusional um with your outlook, like meaning delusional meaning like you're throwing away the facts just for how you feel, and that's not good. You know what I mean? Like don't discard the facts for just how you feel. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter is Jess was right. There's a difference between a biological woman and a trans woman. Like, is that an argument? Like, is that like are people getting mad because she's exposing the truth, or are people getting mad because she's lying on them?
It's not really. Yeah, it's not. It's
No,
not.
no, 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 no. The truth. What I'm talking about is that you could feel like a woman, but you're
People
not.
That's not a. Yeah, that's
Hold on.
not. Yeah, that's not a.
To the
It's not
shit
a.
because they don't want to get into a discussion like this. Or
But
they
that's
don't want
what
to
I'm
get
saying.
canceled. But they know that with the truth.
It's not. She didn't really.
So
She
how
didn't
do
really
you have
expose.
enough power to
They're
get
not upset.
canceled by a whole
So let
bunch
me explain to you. They're not. They're not mad at her because she exposed anything. They're mad at her because it's like you're being insensitive to how we. Hold on. Let me tell you. Well, but it wasn't a comedic jab. It was really just her basically saying her ideology versus how they feel, and this is what they're saying. You're insensitive to how I identify myself is what they're saying. That's the whole culture behind this shit. It's like people believe what they want to believe, if somebody says wake up one morning and they say they want to be a dog, it's not your right to say you're not a dog. Stop it. It's not your right to do that.
Yeah, because it's
They're
more
a
than
grown
just
ass
her
person.
opinion. She telling them to cut it out.
Right,
So
right,
that's
right,
a
right.
whole
And
different
we can have our hold on.
like
We can
stop
have our voice on it and say like, yo, I don't agree with
can't
that.
tell nobody else how to live their life.
Exactly. I don't agree with how somebody lives or something like that. And that's fine. You can reserve your opinion to have that. I don't want any of my kids to grow up that way. And that's fine. You can reserve your opinion to feel that way. I don't think anybody in my family should be like that. And I'm not going to hang out with anybody that's like that. That's fine. You can reserve your opinion to feel that way. However, these people exist and they exist with you as long as they're not doing anything to children or they're not doing anything to you or not causing you any harm. Mind your business type of thing. And it's like when we're influencers and we impose our will on people's basically on people's ideologies, because people have different beliefs, people have different religions, people have different this, that, whatever. When we impose our will on someone else, that is not right. So I would agree.
Can I ask a question though?
You definitely can, but let me land my plane. I would agree that yeah, you're if you ask me a question, who can have children, and I say in a literal logical sense, biologically only women can have children. There's nothing wrong with that statement. But if you say what about trans men? And I would say, well, if they were biologically born a woman, then the same rules apply. I would say that. But if you're gonna say to me, if you're gonna say to me, well they're not a woman, then I'll be like, I mean, well, that's semantics and we can go down that rabbit hole. But but if you're saying women have ovaries, yes they do. Trans men, well, if they were born a woman, they have ovaries as well. So it's not an argument to me to say that, but they are very sensitive about that because they went through a lot psychologically to get to that point. That's where people say it's a behavioral issue because it's something that's not clicking mentally for them to really believe that. Some people believe that, or some people believe this is what people want to be and they can be whatever they want.
So
Go ahead.
let me ask you this, right? If let's say hypothetically speaking, right?
Mhm.
If somebody from the trans community, right, has a cartoon, they're a cartoon creator, and they make a cartoon with their opinion of um, a trans woman, a trans, is it man?
Which
That's the
one?
natural woman, right?
Yeah, the
Okay,
transition to a man.
right. So the trans man goes into a bathroom and nobody says anything and everything is okay in the cartoon, right? Isn't that influencing your children to think something is normal and it's not to you or it's not in society?
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning
That's
in.
my
If
question.
you're watching, hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. What is your question,
My
Chris?
question is if a trans person or trans man um man goes into a male bathroom or vice versa. A trans woman goes into a wait, is
A female bathroom.
yeah, female bathroom, right? Is that
Is a
acceptable?
woman turned into, I mean, a man turned into a woman.
Is that acceptable?
In the cartoon, is it alright if they make a cartoon with this suggestive messaging?
No, it's not no suggestion in that specific cartoon.
I'm just highlighting this so
I
that she
think
understands.
they should have their own bathroom.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but no, listen.
Is that
Hold on,
influence?
because I'm gonna make it shorter because I know what you said. He's saying like this person, whatever they identify as, they made a cartoon, right? In that cartoon, they had a suggestive message of them going into the restroom, and they went into the restroom for whatever their transgender is,
Mm-hmm.
and how do you feel about that being portrayed to your children?
I heard what he said. That was my answer. They should have their own bathroom.
Okay.
So you would say that? Would you let your kid watch it?
They're gonna watch the same cartoons that I watch if I.
So no. Alright, what about you?
I mean, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Yeah, right.
It, so I don't care.
So you don't care that
No.
they're giving certain messages
because
to your kid?
Because it's my responsibility to have those conversations.
That's
with my
why
child.
I asked you, are you gonna let your kid watch it? Because
I
it's
don't-
your choice to let your kid watch it or not.
If my kid,
They can't be watching
there's so
TV
many.
all day.
There, okay, so hold on. Like allow me to answer the way I like to answer.
Yeah.
You know how I do. This is the thing with this question. It's like a loaded question because there's no context.
There's a lot of
So
context.
no, it's not. It's a high lack of context. But here's the thing. The easy answer for me to answer that question is like, I don't care. Like if my kid's watching a cartoon, if it's a cartoon that they allowed for children to be able to watch, it's no better than any other cartoon. Looney Tunes got some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? But here's the thing about it. You're talking about that, and that's what you're highlighting because people are sensitive about those things. If that's something, then you as the parent, you're wrong for not having that conversation with your kid and knowing that these type of things exist. But if it's something that a child should not be watching, then that would be something different. I would have
But
to
you
have
don't
an issue.
care.
That's what I'm saying. I consider that's an adult cartoon.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's an adult cartoon, then they shouldn't be watching it.
But you don't
So that
care
goes
though.
with
That
it.
was your answer.
I don't care if that's.
So you don't
that's
care
a
that your
cartoon.
kid is watching an adult cartoon.
I care what type of cartoons, like if they watching like The Simpsons or something like that.
But that's,
you know what I mean?
If that's
You're saying,
normalized,
because you're saying one element, right? Because
isn't
hold on,
sexual
He's
orientation?
saying
Hold on,
is
bro,
the whole
bro.
thing children, then that one part of it.
Right, you're
is
hypersensitizing
or
that
is
one
it
area.
The whole thing
So I'm
adult?
saying,
So
But I
doesn't
would
that-
think
doesn't
if
that
it
stand
did
out?
that,
I
it
would think
be
so, right?
an
Like
adult
that's what I'm saying.
cartoon.
So if my kid was watching stuff like
Some
that, then
adult
that's my
swim
fault
shit.
as a parent. I would say I don't care.
So
right?
so
As a
hold on.
parent.
So
my kid
if it was
watching
a
shit like
if it
that.
was a child's cartoon, right, and they put that in there, you still don't care?
It's a child's cartoon, right? So
Yeah, but that part is not a child's part.
So how much in depth did they go into that concept?
I'm just saying they snuck it in.
So then
They snuck it in.
So then
If you weren't watching
suggestive.
if you were exactly,
It's just
if
subjective.
it's suggestive.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because they know it's kids.
Okay.
They know kids are influenced certain easily, so they're gonna
Influenced
be
easily how?
influenced by normalizing something that may not be normal.
Here's the thing.
If you're saying, hold on, let me say this one thing. If you're saying that it's normal for a trans woman going into the woman's bathroom, right? Then you're saying that if a child is a trans, then that's normal for you too. Like you don't mind a trans little girl in the girls' locker room when the girls is changing. You're saying you don't care if you're seeing certain cartoons and they're suggesting and normalizing things that you don't think is normal. Like you said, even if you're having a conversation about to your kids and saying that, hey, certain things, like you could choose your own lifestyle, but certain things are normal and certain things are not normal.
I'm gonna say this, right?
I would say you should monitor
I'ma
what
say
your kids are
You
watching.
definitely should.
100%.
And they shouldn't be watching TV all day. They should go
100%.
outside
I would
and
agree.
play or
I would
do
agree.
whatever.
But everybody.
But is there something to monitor? Is what I'm asking.
Let me end my statement with this, and I'll digress after this from this point. I feel like every parent is going to have a different parenting style. That's just how it is. No two parents are gonna do it the same. Nobody gets it right the first time. You know, all that shit. But what you could think about is that if you let TV raise your child, then you're setting yourself up for failure anyway.
Right.
So if we're going off of this loaded question and like, yo, when I said I didn't care, I don't care because it's already something that's up there. The kids are gonna see it. They're either gonna see it on their tablet with some other kid, or they're gonna see it online. I have to be very tight gripped to make sure that my kid doesn't watch certain things. right? So that's gonna be on me as a parent. But I said I don't care if it's already something that's out there because these are discussions that I should have with my child anyway. So if my kid is already watching this, then it's already the damage is already done because
what's
I
the
was
discussion?
hold on. This is how I'm landing my plane with this. I'm not talking about it after this. So this is how I'm landing my plane with this. I'm just saying if I had a child, TV is not going to raise my child. So this is an extreme hypothetical for me because I don't have any kids. But just saying I don't care about it because you just named one thing that you're hypersensitive about. It doesn't really affect me the same way, and it depends on how suggestive it is. If it's really like highlighting that, like honing in on that, like you know, gotta be trans, you know, or if it or hold on, well let me finish with this. Let me finish with this. If it's like one of those things where it's the premise of the cartoon is it's a trans cartoon, something like that. I don't want my kid watching a cartoon on sexuality, period. But if you're telling me somebody went into a bathroom, I wouldn't care because that little fucking thing is gonna really go over a child's head. They're not gonna understand that. At what I don't know what age you're talking about.
Because
you're just talking
when
about
the
cartoons.
stuff that came out about the Nickelodeon shit, we didn't realize
nobody was
that
realizing
when we were watching
exactly.
it.
Right.
And
that's why they call it. That's why they call it suggestive.
I don't know.
Suggestive
we was pretty
messaging.
fucked up. There's
But
a lot of
we're
people
not.
that was
Not from that.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking
my
about
thing-
being
I
a
was
part
fucked
of the
up.
community.
Listen,
None of us
listen.
are, and
Listen,
we watch.
hold on, we can't say
cartoons
that. We cannot say that.
Are
you know
you
why?
a part of the community?
Listen to what I'm trying to say. If the numbers
talking
went
about
up,
us.
listen. If the numbers,
She just said
of
us.
course, but if we're talking about our people or just us around the table,
Because we
it's
represent a part of that diaspora. So
I
you
understand that.
can't just exclude us, and we live in these communities. We grew up with the same.
So this is,
And
but we're not getting exposed to it more because it's not more common.
That you know of.
Oh my God.
Like that, and they watch.
I have. Listen to what I'm saying.
Because you say you wouldn't be friends with somebody that. So,
no, but I know people that grew up that weren't one way and that they were some way. You know why? You know why? Can I say what I gotta say? Can I say what I gotta say? Can I answer that? So my answer to that is, how do you not know if somebody sees some shit and it normalizes it and they may feel a way, but they don't. Listen, hold on. You doing what she did. You see, you doing what she did to you. Let me finish what I had to say. No, not cause nothing. Let me finish what I gotta say. So what I'm saying is, listen. Y'all listen, right? Let me say this. If you have, see, fucking forgot my topic or what the fuck I was talking about.
Watching a cartoon cause
right.
you to be.
Right. If you're watching something, right, and it's talking to your subconscious, it's not talking to you specifically. It's not telling you to go out and do anything. So I'm not saying that everybody is gonna, you know what I mean, or everybody, the majority of people. I'm saying when you hear something suggestive, weaker minds follow it and they don't know why they follow it. You ever see a kid come home from doing something bad that they knew what they were doing was bad? That's the outcome of suggestive shit. It's like once it's in their head, they know it's possible and then they do it. This is what I'm saying. So if you're giving these type of messages to the kids, that is going to be a standout thing because it's saying that, hey, this is normal. It's okay. You see what I'm saying? If certain things are said to be okay, if that part doesn't bother you because it's just a bathroom, if that specifically, and Smiley said I was being hypersensitive about it. It's not that I'm being hypersensitive about it. It's just I believe that there is a plot to have these kids desensitized to certain sexual things as grown people that they shouldn't even be worried about. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's the conspiracy. I think there's numerous cartoons with subliminal messages in it clear that, yo, even though this movie is about one thing, we're putting certain things into the minds of the youth. and we have to have a defense to that. And how are you gonna have a defense to it if you just like, all right, well, it is what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Some people are gonna be like, you just have to accept that. Unfortunately,
I'm not mad at that, but my parenting style is if I know that something is out there to attack my daughter, I gotta get her the defense or the know-all to say, look, you can't steer in the direction of non-life, artificial. You can't steer into these directions because if you do and you rely on this fake or this artificial shit, right? Then that describes you as a person because you are what you do. Like you see what I'm saying? You are what you're into. If you are into love, you're a lovey-dovey type motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? Do for love. You know what I'm saying? If you're abusive to women and you get anger easy, you're abusive motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? If you smoke a lot of weed, you're a pothead. Like whatever we do describes us. So if we're into a whole bunch of fake shit, that is going to seep into us, and that's something that we all could have fallen victim to. Like let's say, Doug, right? Doug had a part in there. Was it Doug or was it Arthur? Oh, I think it was Arthur, right? Arthur had a part in there where he got like tight with DW and he finally hit her ass. Cause he was getting like, you know what I'm saying? And they like the music, the like how it felt. Like you remember that shit for like damn, like Arthur was wrong because he just acted out of rage. You see what I'm saying? Like you remember that part. You see what I'm saying? It hit different as a kid. So now when you're in a situation when you get upset with your sibling, you see what I'm saying? Instead of hitting her, you're gonna think about that episode and you're gonna be influenced not to make that. And this is all I'm talking about. Like it's subtle shit like that is disguised into the kid shit, which is really directing the narrative of why they do certain fucked up shit and why they don't do certain fucked
Or
up shit.
if you're not an orphan, your parents can teach you.
Yeah,
Now,
your parents
like you
are
said,
gonna
I had a
teach you,
conversation.
but
I
your
think it's
parents are
saying the
not gonna
same
be
thing
in
that
front
he
of.
said. He said I would talk to my kids and I would explain to them
You
that
can't
this is
just
that.
talk to your kid. This is
You
something
just
that
said.
listen.
Look, let's just
Why are you?
let's
You
agree
was
to
talking
disagree.
for a long time.
Yeah,
And then
let's
as
just
soon as I
cause let's
said
just go
something,
because this is it seems like it's getting circular. We losing people, getting people. The point that we're making, yeah, you know, cause you brought up a specific type of thing that happened in a cartoon, but what the message should be overall for everybody should be, don't let TV teach your kids. You know what I
or your
mean?
media.
But it's going to.
I mean,
If you're gonna say that, they can't watch
say
it.
you can't say it's
You don't. They don't have to have a TV in their room.
that's you.
They don't
That's
have to
you.
have a TV, period.
But that's
we don't watch TV. We watch YouTube.
That's the
So now
parenting.
we're gonna
But
say,
hold on,
don't give
hold
your
on.
kid.
No, bro,
I
listen.
wouldn't.
I'm not
I'm
saying
not-
don't
my
do
child
anything.
don't
I'm
need
not
phone
telling
up to
anybody to
certain
not
age
or
or
do
device.
anything.
Even after
They're
that
gonna
certain
be
age.
with me.
I'm not
You don't
telling
think it's gonna
anybody
be worse
to
if
Their
they don't
mind
have that
already
not
wants
or
to
experience?
do
develop at a certain
one
point.
I don't-
one mic. Go ahead. Whoever.
I'm just saying, what she said was she's gonna wait a certain age to get them a device. I'm saying that if you don't work a person into, especially a young mind, into a device, they're gonna use it to entertain themselves. And entertainment is just gonna be flooded with a whole bunch of brain rot. It's just
Okay.
gonna be a whole bunch of stuff.
So that's your view.
What the device,
What's your view?
Device does.
Exactly. So
So
either you're gonna let your kid say, you know what, you need
All right,
this
let her-
device, or you don't need the device.
Let her
Go
rebuttal, and
ahead.
then let's move on. I don't got anything else to say on it.
First of all, my child is gonna be with me most of the time. If I would like to homeschool my kids, if I have kids or whatever, and if we do stay together or whatever, they're not gonna be going to stay with people or whatever. They can come visit, or I could bring them to them, but I'm gonna be there too. So all that outside negative influence, they won't need a device because I'm gonna be there with them. They can have a little toy that doesn't connect to the internet with their a kid that teaches them things like that teaches them their ABCs and their colors and shit that's interactive and it talks, but it's not gonna connect to the internet. So you're not gonna be able to do that. And then when you get to a certain age, if I then allow you to go to school after that or whatever, you're gonna be smart, so you're gonna know how how to use these devices or whatever. Or if maybe I'll get a computer in the house, but it's gonna be in a room where it's monitored, where I'm gonna go and check and see what you're searching up and what you're watching. And if I catch you searching up something, then we're gonna have a conversation about it or whatever. But I think the problem is, instead of people, and this is a general statement, that what I see people do, they just give the kid is crying or something, and they give them something or whatever just to shut them up because they don't want to be bothered. Then next thing you know, they're always on this something, on the tablet, on the whatever, and that's why it's teaching them. That's why they're getting influenced by it, because you're not present enough, and that has taken the place of your presence in their life, and that's a problem. It's an electronic device that shouldn't be happening. So I'm saying I'm gonna do. Anybody else can do whatever they want because people are gonna do what they want. But me personally, like I said, I'm gonna. I work from home. I want to continue to work from home. If I have a kid, they're going to be in the house with me. They're going to be homeschooled, maybe up to a certain age or whatever. Maybe when they're like high school age, or maybe like sixth grade or something, then they can go to school. But because your mind, who you are, starts at a young age. When you get to a certain point, you've already developed your mindset for the most part that you're gonna be. Then you develop extra characteristics as you go along. But the core person of you, it develops really young. So it's important in those first, I think they said the first 3 years of life, that you establish this pattern of thinking of how you want your child to be, the foundation. And then the rest of the thing, they're gonna know morals. They're gonna know right from wrong, up to, like, from a basic level. That's how it starts. Like, hitting is wrong, because if they hit you when they're a kid, you're gonna be like, I don't do that. Don't laugh. Don't play when they doing something that's wrong. Nip it in the bud right then and there, and you don't have to pop them. You can say no, because I've done this before with little kids. You can just say no and look at them and have a straight face, and they're gonna know that you're not playing, and they won't do it anymore. But if you laugh, and that's how it starts, and then they begin to know as they go through life. Okay, this is. But it has to start somewhere, and people wait till you get a certain age to where you should know right from wrong, but you never taught them that from the beginning, so they don't know it. And now you're expecting them to go out in the world and know it all, but you didn't give them the foundation to be able to acquire the rest of that knowledge that they need to be a reputable member of society. So then whose fault is it really? Like, you can't control the technology that's out there or what comes on TV and stuff, but you have to be a stronger presence in your kid's life than any of that shit.
I agree.
And that's the problem. These grown people are getting influenced by stuff.
Right.
So how they gonna teach their kids?
They're not.
Something?
But that's the importance of family. But can I ask you one thing, right? What is the importance of a father in the developmental life from your perspective?
That goes into our next topic.
What do you think?
You want to save that for our next topic?
I really want to hear the answer, though.
All right, we could save it for because our next topic, talking about Barrack and Michelle, kind of highlights that the father's importance.
Nah, I heard that he was saying that there's an importance of
I'll tell you exactly what it was if you want to know.
He didn't actually say what.
Yeah, I know exactly what he said. And we could talk about it, but hold on. Are we? But let's just say, are we done with this topic? Because this isn't even one of our topics.
I still want to hear the answer to that question. Like, what is the role of a man, of a father in the developmental years, different from the woman? Because there has to be a difference, because there is a role that a father plays that only a father plays. So I'm curious to see if you know what that role is.
All right, so let's talk about it from their perspective. So I was watching Barrack and Michelle Obama's podcast, and it was very interesting. Number one, it highlighted a lot of stuff about what was going on in their relationship. Like, everybody was like, oh, they're not together, or she's cheating, or all this stuff.
Not minding their business.
Everybody was saying, right, and they was just being quiet about stuff. So that's why nobody really knew. But she got her own thing going on. He supports her. She supports him, obviously, because he was the chief of staff.
Not at them
was that nigga. But in any case, it really was a good discussion. Her brother was up there.
Her brother looks eerily like her.
Yeah, they look
it's so fucking weird.
Crazy, yo.
And I didn't even know that was her brother when
Yeah,
I first
he's
seen
got-
it. I'm like, yo,
he's got-
is they related?
He's
They
got
really
three.
acting like this.
He's
I'm
got
like,
three
yeah, that's her
boys,
brother.
and you know what's crazy? Like when you hear a dude that has sons, you're thinking like he's like a coach, and he's like all of that. You know what I mean? You just think about that. He's more of a passive type of individual. But I wanna talk about. We got to get to your question, but I want to talk about what they were talking about.
Let me play this clip.
Yeah, play the clip. I want to hear.
But hold on. Before we play, let's give them the description. So the whole discussion highlights a lot of different things that you probably didn't know, and then a lot of people have this conception of what a relationship looks like. A relationship looks different for everybody. If it's working, it's working. What works for some might not work for, the old saying, what you eat don't make me shit. Everybody can have a foundationally decent relationship if they understand their partner enough and they're able to conform to certain things, or they're able to deal with the differences of their partner. I mean, nobody's gonna be perfect. The person that's choosing the person that wants all these changes is not perfect. You know what I mean? A lot of times, I know I'm not perfect. So I'm just happy that a chick would accept me, but because I got all my flaws, I'm crazy, I'm a little wild sometimes. So I'll be thinking about that, and then you find that person, and then you build a life around that individual. That's a beautiful thing when you can do it. But you have to have understanding. You have to communicate. You have to have all these things before you even think about love, because everybody be like, oh my God, when I saw them, it was like my first time I heard the Beatles and all this extra shit. You know what I mean? So now it's really like just
Smiley going off experience.
Trying to
Yeah,
like what we're saying.
Living
on. I understand that when you're in a relationship with somebody, it can be good in the beginning, but whenever you get into that situation that tests y'all
comfortability, nigga,
that's when motherfuckers break up, or motherfuckers don't hang the way they used to hang back in the day. You know what I mean? You say one thing to a chick,
you don't care, it's crazy.
She might revert to the extreme. You be like, yo, like
exactly.
Why don't you do this? Oh, you saying I'm fat, you saying this. I said we should work out. You said that your stomach getting a little bit
My issue is I
said, yo, we should work out.
I am fat, and then niggas will
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. A lot of times,
because they comparing you to a real fat bitch and shit. Women self-sabotage. Certain women carry it different.
They self-sabotage their relationship.
No, but I'm saying that's a
because
problem too.
You talk about shit. You talk about shit like sometimes. Yeah,
but you gotta be honest to yourself.
Women talk about
but that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm like,
sometimes women talk about shit in the relationship. Hold on, only one person could be heard on this shit at one time, y'all. If a woman says something in a relationship, a lot of times they think the guy is not listening, and that's because a lot of times we're fucking not. Like, let's just keep it a band. Let's stop playing these fucking games. Like, yo, we know. Like, sometimes we don't give a fuck about what the fuck they talking about.
Only married people got.
But we have to sit there and we have to be tolerant of certain things. But women will say things that's like,
not
yo, why are you saying this? And we still together. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I'm asking you to correct this behavior, and you go into the extreme. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So I see that they have a dynamic where they understand each other, and they help to build each other. She didn't slander this dude or nothing like that. And him about fatherhood, he's a girl dad. So him about fatherhood, to your point, he understands the importance of being in their life, and she also agreed with that. Barrack and Michelle. Barrack and Michelle.
I heard that he had.
No, you asked the question. Hold on. Don't. Before you go, nah. Before you go down the rabbit hole.
This is what
you
asked.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what are you talking about?
He asked the question about, what did he ask you about father being present in the household, how important or whatever, right? Like
and
we
he
always
was
talk
saying
about that.
that.
That's what I'm saying, because that's what I'm talking about. Barack and Michelle Obama's podcast. Well, Michelle Obama's podcast when she brought him up there. So again, him being a girl dad to your question.
But doesn't that
I'm answering your question because I said we was gonna get to it, but I wanted to
But
go.
you said
I want to
somebody
move.
had sons. That's why I was confused.
Yeah,
It sounded like
like-
you were talking about another
I
cousin.
Well,
think she was
no,
talking
his
about Michelle
okay,
Obama
because I'm saying
sister,
because
or
I'm saying a
brother.
lot because
because
y'all talking and not listening, and we're live.
I was listening,
So I'm
but
saying
I
what
was
I'm saying.
confused. So
All
I
right,
was trying to
her
clarify
brother,
who you were
her
talking
brother. When we
Has
were
the
talking
book
about
sons.
her brother, he's got 3 sons, and he's a passive guy. We were talking about that,
Oh.
and then I started talking about Barack again.
Okay.
Because initially it's about Barack being on the podcast. The podcast is
so
Michelle
that's where you
Obama
lost me.
and
I
her
thought
brother,
because you didn't
and we were
say
talking
what I
about
was
her
talking
brother,
about
and he was
everything.
saying like her brother looked like da 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 da, and I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
he's a guy dad, and it's different about Barack.
Because he has daughters. Okay.
He's a
Now
girl
I'm sure.
dad, right? And his dynamic and explaining the importance of him being in their life. Because it's good to have a strong role model and to see that symbol of love and how you treat a woman and certain things. Because he still believes in, what's the shit? Chivalry. He still believes in chivalry.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he's able to.
I just thought about something. Go ahead.
He's able to show those things to his daughters before they go out into the world.
Right.
A lot of young ladies don't get that type of training because one, mom and dad aren't together. Father's got his style, mom got her style, and it conflicts sometimes. You know what I mean? But if you're together in the same household with them, they get that good dynamic. If he's a good guy or a decent guy or whatever, you know.
Smiley.
Wait, let me say. It's funny. I mean, if you want to be chivalrous, then you want to open the door and whatever,
Yeah,
you
I
can.
took
But
chivalry.
you don't have to. But it was just funny, just a little joke. This guy on Clubhouse, he was like, "Man, I don't care about that shit. I'm not walking on the other side of the road because I ain't trying to get hit by a car. I'm not opening the door. I'm not doing none of that shit. F that shit." And I'm like, dang, why you have to say it like that? I mean, but that doesn't mean you're a bad guy because you don't open the door. But saying it like that,
a good person.
Saying it like that is like you an asshole.
Common courtesy. Because men open the door for men.
So
yeah,
no
again, I
funny
hold the
shit,
door
you
for
know what I mean?
people if I'm coming out with somebody.
Right.
So hold on. Okay.
And
so
then they talk about should you reach over, and some guys like,
Hold
I
on,
don't give a
hold
fuck.
on,
Like
Aileen.
I can open the door myself. What she got? That sounds dumb as fuck. What she gonna reach all the way over? But me, I have done that. I don't know. And some guy said that that's bad if you open the door for you and then you don't reach over and open the door. Then
I think
Say
all
your
of
point.
that.
And I want to hear the clip too.
I think all of that is fine and dandy, but the clip that I seen or I heard about was like based
he
off
want
the
to talk
fact that
about the
he had
provocative shit.
no, not
Right.
even the provocative shit. Like literally, like
sound bites.
hold on, let me say it.
Say what you're gonna
So
say. I watched the shit. I'm telling you.
okay, cool. So there was a part in there where he said that it is imperative or important to have a person from the community raise young boys, and I'm like,
That's
how?
taken out of context.
Okay, so I'm just saying if that wasn't taken out of context, doesn't that kind of wipe away all of that? Oh yeah, we're getting the structure from, you know what I mean? Because like when you think of examples of good fatherhood, you think of people, you know, that basically navigates their kid a certain way. You see what I'm saying? To whatever standard that, you know what I mean, is subjected to you. But when I hear certain stuff like that, it's just like, why is it always that being involved in what you do and what you're about? You see what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it's like basically saying that I have had compassion for this lifestyle and I need this to be in my children's lifestyle. And that's why I'm like, like doesn't that kind of take away from everything else you're saying? Because we could agree with everything that y'all said about fatherhood and them knowing, and you know what I'm saying, kudos to that. But then when I hear stuff like that, where it's like, yo, bro, like you feel like this is important for what? For why? Like, you know what I mean? Explain that. Go into like depth with that, because I don't.
All right, so play whatever clip you was gonna play, and I'll go more in depth with what you're saying, so that it could be context to it.
All right, cool.
Because that's the problem with these clips. Like people highlight clips,
Right.
and they put them on different social media platforms and remix them with a side by side of them saying something or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah,
But you don't really, right.
Clip.
So you don't really get the whole essence of everything that's being said in the conversation, because they talked about many different things, and then he shared conversations or experiences or people that he may have met throughout the walks of life, and that came up as one of the things.
What came up?
What you talking about?
Thank you.
So it did happen. He said that shit.
You're
not in exactly how.
I'm trying.
How did he say it? I want to know how he said it.
I'm gonna play the clip and let the clip play.
Play it. I'm not saying shit. This is his words. This is his words.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy, one dad. No matter how good the dad is, he can't be everything. And that boy may need somebody to give the boys some perspective on the dad. One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group, so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or whatever, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. Yeah. Right? So and
all right.
Can I say something before you say something?
Say whatever you want.
Need is a strong word. And if you're saying that you need a homosexual perspective, is preposterous. That's like saying that you need to the necessity of it is so important that you should, because should is just your opinion. Need is this is imperative to do. And for you to say that has to be basically like you wouldn't understand unless you are a part of it. That's influencing into that, in my opinion. Like if you need to have a certain mentality and you can't just get it by word of mouth, you have to be in it or be involved or have somebody in your circle or your, you know what I'm saying? And this is going out voluntarily because this is a necessity. He didn't say you should. He didn't say you ought to. He said you need to have this perspective in your lifestyle, and this has to be learned from a person in that lifestyle. Like, there's no getting around that. Like,
he used the example that if your child was ended up being a part of that community,
he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Let her finish.
That is what he said. He said if you had a child or that's gay or non-binary or something like that, then they can have a friend. It's like, oh, you're like me too. You give me, not necessarily telling them to do stuff, but just like you have friends, you have stuff in common with your friend that may not be sexual, because that's the only part that you're focusing on. He just meant a different perspective overall, because he said ignorant his teacher told him when he was saying things that were ignorant, what could have been anything. So that didn't have to necessarily be a sexual.
So why can't you get this information from a non-person that's like that? So what you're saying is, like, if that person.
I'm just
hold on. So you're hold on. So clarify this. You're saying that in no way was he talking about any heterosexual person that they need to have a homosexual perspective. That's what you're saying? Because let's be specific about what we're saying and why we're saying it. If you're saying that, yes, I believe that he was not talking to any heterosexual young males. He was just talking to the people that are thinking about being homosexual. Said, I'm just asking you, what do you think?
I'm answering the question. Okay. On the part where he said, if you have a child, or that was at the end, so there was only one point that was followed after that. When he said, if you have a gay child, or that was at the end, that wasn't the whole part of what he was talking about. Right. He basically just saying you need people from all walks of life, and he used that community as an example because they might have a different perspective. Right. It doesn't have to necessarily be sexual. So because he said his professor told him when he was being
heterosexual and homosexual.
But you don't know. But you don't.
Isn't that a sexual preference? How can it not be sexual if it's a sexual preference?
All right, hold on 1 second.
I'm just asking the questions because she's saying it doesn't have to be sexual, and I'm saying it's not sexual. It's a boy having to be around
Here's the beautiful thing about context. Why it's important, because you don't even know how that conversation started, right?
Yeah, you take a podcast and they felt like, look, I'm gonna get the people talking, and this is what we're gonna talk about.
Because we gotta be professional. All right, so I understand what you're saying because that's a soundbite. That's the beauty of these clips. Okay, well, hold on, bro. Cause I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. You see how quiet I'm sitting here, like a fucking priest. You know what I mean? I'm saying that context is a beautiful thing because without it, we get these clips, and these clips allow us to kind of come at a one-way objective towards the entire discussion. And like I said, I watched the whole conversation. It wasn't just, they weren't talking about that. That came up because his wife is a feminist. Okay. And she's very sensitive about boys' emotional stuff and boys being who they want to be, and I mean, I think a lot of his campaign, I mean, this is just a theory like any other, but I think a lot of his campaign was influenced by some of her beliefs. Like, she really believes about a lot of stuff about the gay community and letting boys be more vulnerable, and like making boys soft, like kind of softer, you know what I mean? And he's kind of against that, but he has girls, so he can't be as hard on his girls as he would probably be on a boy.
Do you believe
that he's
kind of against that?
Let me talk, bro.
I just like, I know. Wow, that was a big one. Like, I was like, yo.
All right, but let me make my point first. Because if you let me make my point, because I make my points quick. If you let me make my point, then we'll get to it. Because I never get to my point because I'm always interrupted. But let me say this. With what I've watched, I thought it was a really good pod, number one. It was a lot of information that was shared from a successful person. But what I gathered from it, and I'm not even biased one way or another. What I gathered from it with that particular discussion was that, yes, there are some of these things that goes on in young men's lives. And this is kind of what helped me understand things, and I had somebody to redirect my ideologies in a more constructive way. Not saying that I'm gonna go out here and be whatever, but just so I don't go out here and do hate crimes against these people. You know what I mean? Some dudes, men are aggressive, you know what I mean, by nature. So a lot of times if we're not pointed in the right direction, we'll use that aggression in different ways. So us not understanding stuff can be detrimental. So if we don't understand something, I'm not saying you can't learn about, you know, the LGBTQ community from a heterosexual person, but I don't never have conversations like that with any of the people that I know. So I would tend to believe that the majority of heterosexual people probably don't have conversations about that unless they pointing a finger at it or chastising it in some way, shape, or form.
So you agree with his sentiment?
Before you ask me any questions, let me finish my thing, please, because I'm going another way with
You
what I'm
are
saying.
a long
Right,
way, bro.
right. I know. Nobody say that when you talking for like mad long, bro. We only got so much time. We got several other topics.
Because I'm getting
You
cut off
do.
half the time.
Don't lie.
I'm not lying. You could rewind
You
it.
don't
I
get to
promise
talk.
you. I
We
promise.
rewind it.
How
We
much
got
you
you
want
talking
to? How
for
much
like
you want to
30
bet I'm
minutes.
not cut off today in this video at least twice? We could put money on it. We can put money. I put 20 on
right
it.
now.
20 on it.
You cutting me off right now.
I'm not. That's not the conversation.
Time when you were just talking.
I'm not. But I'm not talking
We're gonna
about.
put 20 on it.
I'm not talking about
ahead,
you being interrupted twice. You interrupted me way more than twice.
I'm just saying I get interrupted all the time, so I can't get a thought off, and I'm gonna be long-winded if I can't get a thought off because I gotta say everything without getting cut off again.
All right, just
it's
go.
like, yo, I gotta cook. Do we need a timer? I think we need a timer because people don't be respecting your time, and then they act like it's just you. No, it's not just me. It's like, yo, it's documented.
Everybody be doing it.
Right, so let's stop it by putting the timer on.
You don't even need to
We do, because obviously it's every fucking episode that niggas keep on cutting each other off. And then it's putting the blame on me, and I'm not feeling that shit.
I just said
I'm not feeling that shit, because it's always like, oh, you get triggered. All of us get triggered. So I'm saying, let's stop it. Let's stop it. No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
because we continue every episode. You put on this episode, it was on the last episode, it was on the other episode. At the end of the day, you don't.
Cut me off when you're hearing something that you don't agree
with. All right, well, it's not now. We all need to stop.
You do that more than me.
All right, we all do it. It don't matter. We all do it. That's what I'm saying.
It does matter because we gotta stop it. And how are we gonna stop it?
We're gonna stop it right now.
Put the timer on.
Going forward.
Put the timer on.
Going forward.
Yes, we do, because we obviously show you every episode that we still do the same thing.
We're doing it right now.
We've been talking about it. It's like, when are we gonna do something different?
And you're still y'all both talking. So he was already going. So let him finish, and then you could go. We don't have to put no time.
Right now, we'll start from now.
Just try to be
concise. We won't cut people off, and we'll try to be concise. My point is, because you're asking me things while I'm trying to explain it. Just let me cook, and then you can say whatever you want. All I was saying was, with the topic, you have to watch the whole thing to get the full context of why they're talking about it. The whole discussion that they were talking about wasn't about homosexuality or anything like that. That wasn't what that shit was like an hour and some change. Like, it wasn't all about that shit. And that shit was only like maybe a 5-minute discussion. Like, it was really straightforward. He made that correlation because that's an experience that he had in his life that he said was helpful for him to understand that. He said that's a tool. Why is it wrong for somebody to say, yo, this is something that I have, because maybe you're biased about this person, but he really did make a good point. He had an experience that he shared with people that helped him understand it. So he said that it could be helpful because it was helpful to me. I don't think that is necessarily putting out there, because the whole discussion wasn't about that, but it's not necessarily putting out there like you're supposed to have one LGBTQ community person at your side among your hetero friends. Like, I don't think that's really what it is. He's saying like it would be easier to understand that group if you know somebody from that group. So that's what he was saying. But it's hard to like really fucking say shit, because you know everything is gonna be everybody's gonna pinpoint specific things because of people's biases already about you. But because we're just honing in on that. We're not really talking. I was trying to talk about the whole podcast, not just one soundbite from certain things. Because why not use the soundbite of we need to practice more stoicism? This is an example of what we're talking about right now. Stoicism, controlling our emotions, not having the absence that we have emotions. Yes, we have them, but we need to be more oriented to solving a problem instead of, I'm hurt right now, so I'm gonna cry. Why am I hurt? and how can I avoid going through this in the future? You know what I mean? Solution based. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's how men have always been. And that's what he was advocating for. And it was kind of a challenging discussion because he was really poised in it. Instead of arguing with his wife, understanding her viewpoint as a feminist, because she is a feminist, and him as like, you know what I mean, like, yo, I'm a dude, but I get what you're saying, but I don't think that it's wrong for boys to be certain ways. There's nothing wrong with them being in sports. Like she was saying stuff like boys shouldn't they shouldn't just be in sports. Like that's okay for them to be in sports, but they should try to do the arts. They should try to do other different things. She didn't say ballet, but it was like trying to make them do like softer type of alternatives instead of doing regular stuff that boys do. You know, boys are rough and tumble, rambunctious, you know what I mean? So they should probably be doing things oriented to that. Girls are more nurturing side, so they probably should have things that's more oriented to that. But we can have well-rounded children, but
if
her
you wanted to be in arts or ballet, would you let your son be in ballet?
I mean, if that's what he wanted to do, man. If that's what he wanted to do, man.
Would you let your son be in ballet? Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Nah, but I just landed my plane there because like that's basically what I was saying. I was just talking about what it was about. It wasn't just that one clip that's gonna come out about the whole shit.
All right, can I say my piece?
Go ahead.
Can you answer that though first?
What?
Would you let your son
No,
be in ballet?
I don't know. Anyways,
Go ahead.
so this goes back to what I was saying before. Like, as a child, there is an example of a messaging, and it was just one part, right? And you call it hypersensitized, or yeah, hypersensitized to it. It's not really hypersensitivity; it's awareness. It's knowing that hey, they're slipping this in there in the subconscious, so then now in the future it becomes regular. And this to me is exactly the future version or the reality of it. That one thing, that one perspective, we don't know what he meant. So he could have meant exactly what I was saying. Like, yes, let me sneak this in here so it promotes like, hey, the president is saying that this is okay, that you should familiarize yourself with gay people, you know what I mean, put them in your circle, or it's cool because, you know what I'm saying, they're people too. And you need to be able to be around them to basically like make that a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? It's more of the Malcolm X approach, or not Malcolm X. It's more the Martin Luther King approach. It's like, you know, let's all be cool with each other, and you know what I'm saying? Let's all just get along. It's like, to me, when there's smoke, there's fire. It's not a coincidence that he made gay marriage legal. It's not a coincidence that he's doing certain things specific for specific people, but then when it comes to black people, oh, I can't give you specifically anything. There's no coincidence. So I'm not gonna take fucking fatherly advice from a nigga that, you know what I mean, possibly I think is questionable, and is telling my kid, hey, it's okay to be around questionable behavior because you need to familiarize yourself with this shit, and it has to be norm. This is the norm. No, it doesn't have to be. That's your norm. That's your reality. You already have a child that is, she changed her name, and she's acting like a dude now. You see what I'm saying? So obviously, obviously, there is a certain acceptance that I feel like is being ignored or overshadowed. It's like, yo, we're just gonna ignore the fact that there's all this questionable behavior and questionable actions, literal actions. Like, to say, yo, I'm going to make this legal for these people is a questionable act, because it's like, for what? Was it for the votes? Was it for this? Was it for, you know what I mean, the monetary gain? And then we got to go into morals. If it's just for the bread, you don't see how this affects the children? Obviously he do, because he has a child in that community, and he doesn't mind it. I mind it. I mind it. Me personally, I have a child, and I let my child know, look, you will be whatever lifestyle you want to be. But if you are going to walk, let's say she identifies as a Christian. you need to be trying to live up to the expectations of that book if you consider yourself a Christian. That's why I don't consider myself a Christian, because I'm not going to live up to those standards, and I think a lot of that shit is false advertising too. You know what I mean? Put in by the, that's a different rabbit hole. But all I'm saying is, once I hear certain slick shit, all it takes is one. Once I hear certain slick shit that can be taken out of proportion or taken in a way where, oh, okay, I know it's a snake because of the other snake behavior, so I know this isn't, you know what I mean, there isn't just, you know what I mean, more benefit than there is takeaway from what he said. And I truly believe that. Not to say you could live any lifestyle that you want to live. I'm not opposed to that. But I'm saying, when you're trying to influence the kids to live a certain lifestyle and they're not of age, it's like, okay, well, let them drink if you're gonna, you know what I mean, expose them to certain things. Okay, let them go to war if you're gonna expose them to certain things. It's like, why are we saying that, okay, exposing them to a woman, a biological woman going into a man's bathroom is okay? You see what I'm saying? So that's my whole piece with it. Like, once you see that there is a motive to destroy the family, then don't go with it. Because my family don't look like his family, and it's not gonna look like his family. There's a lot of things that I could see on the physical that lets me know the spiritual ain't right. So I'm not one of those people that's gonna take everybody's happy life or quote unquote the perspective that they're gonna give it, and that, oh, okay, that's just what it is. Nah, especially the presidents, because I believe all the presidents lived secretly more than they lived publicly, and that means a lot when you're saying that, oh, I gotta go for face value if this person is a good father, a good person, a good whatever. We don't know. So that's my whole thing with it. Like, I wouldn't trust that person, Barry Santana, whatever his name is. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trust him like he's just a role model guy.
Who?
Obama.
You said
Barry Santana? Yeah, that's
Barrack Santoro.
Santoro, there we go. That's
Lolo Santoro's son.
Yeah, and that's, what's the name? That's
Well, that is
the Bush and
actual
them
son,
cousin.
but he raised him.
The Bush and them cousin, blood cousin.
But what's your take on her? Do you wanna, or you don't have anything to say on that?
I just want to say that it is important. I mean, you don't have to do it if you don't want to, or whatever. But we should give our opinion based off the podcast in its entirety. So if you just saw a clip, it's hard to condense everything that they talked about into that one clip, because they were focusing on one specific subject in that moment or whatever. So, and we've done this before. Women did it with Kevin Samuels. Like, so it's not just. So I think it's important to do that if you're gonna have an opinion. So I didn't watch the whole thing either, but. And he didn't even say, like, what other people were saying, the way they were wording it, like, that's not the words that he said. Like, they just heard, like, oh, he said, you should have a gay friend. Like, that's all the thing. But, I don't know. Obviously, I wouldn't want my kid to be, a part of the community because of the things that they have to go through. And then it's like, if you want grandchildren or whatever, you can't do that. I mean, they do have ways now or whatever, but so I get it. I would hope that my kids weren't, but if they're still my kids, I'm still gonna love them, and I'm gonna try to, I don't know, figure out why they're like this, or see if there's a way, if it's something that they grow out of or something. I don't know. Some people say that they've been delivered So maybe that's a real thing or whatever. So maybe it can be a phase or something for some people or whatever. So, because there's some people that said they did that before, like they messed with same sex before, but they but they're married and they're with the opposite sex, and they don't want to be with nobody else. So it depends. Like you never know. But regardless, that's my kid. I'm gonna love it. We get to a point where I realize there's nothing else I can do, and I've tried all that I can. I'm not gonna disown them, and that could be if they do end up like that. You know, hopefully not, or in that community, that would be some so they don't feel isolated or whatever over something that they can't control. They can control acting on it, but if we discover the desires, you didn't nobody touched you, you you don't you don't feel like you were made like you just feel like you always felt like that. And when kids are like that, you can tell when they're little because I've seen kids before or I've heard kids before or whatever when they were little, and you can tell like they're gonna be like you could just hear it and when they talk sometimes. So it's like how like at a little you could say, but I don't think everybody that's happened to somebody did something to them or whatever. I think some people just end up how we like the opposite. Some people just like the same. Now the trans part is what I think is even a little more confusing because like now you're trying to be something else. Like it's one thing what you're attracted to. It's another thing you want to be a boy when you're a girl. Like that's confusing. Why do you think that you were supposed to be born? And I seen a documentary and they said you start off. Everyone starts off as one sex, and then you develop into what you're going to be. Like when you're developing while they're pregnant, like you start off as one sex. I forgot which one it is, and then it develops into what you're going to be. The people that end up trans or gay are they're they never developed into like they were a woman, but their brain never developed into a woman with the rest of their physical body. So that's why they have the same thoughts, and they took pictures of a heterosexual woman's brain and a um a heterosexual woman's brain and a homosexual man's brain and or a trans, and it was like identical.
Mm.
So there's something during the I think, but I think sometimes yeah, if you have um, smacks too young or you get grapes, then that can be confusing at a young age. I don't think you should be doing that at all, doing the upside down tango, because you're too young to understand what it is or whatever. So, um, but obviously, if you're Greek, that can be traumatizing or something. But in the cases that it's not, I think I believe that could be a thing that would happen. But now we got to figure out what's causing the brain to not develop along with the body in the proper way. Is this, they putting stuff in the food? They give you immunization as soon as you while you in the hospital and before they leave, they try to give you all these shots. My kids ain't having no immunization, and I know people that were not immunized, and they lived a they're still living and they're fine or whatever. So
I wish I would have known to not do that because that shit is crazy. They pump
and they try to make you drugs. They try to force you.
Yeah, I know, because you know what I mean. Because it's a wicked world, and this is what I'm saying. It's like there's no way that the leader of the free world allegedly could be unaware of how wicked this shit get unless he's a part of it. And you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I just think where there's smoke, there's fire, and people like that are gonna find very smooth ways to talk metaphorically the crowd's panties off. They're gonna say things and sneak it in, and I just felt like that was one of those situations. It's like, oh, like it gets overlooked because it's like, oh, okay, it's no big deal. But if you really think about it, yes, it is a big deal. because it's showing you how he feels about child development and what he thinks is normal and not normal. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't agree that's normal. I think that's going above and beyond to try to create a narrative of sexual preference in young boys. And that's crazy to me. If you say it like that, then you're gonna be like, oh nah, that's wild. But people don't say it like that.
I don't know. There was something. Oh, speaking of bad relationships. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
Well, it looks like they're working through whatever problems, or they're good. So at least it seemed like they happy or whatever. Or they still together. They hanging in there. So
Who's that?
Barrack and Obama.
Oh,
People was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
why she didn't go to the funeral? They thought there was a problem, but it seems they're still together. So
Yeah, they good. They good money right now.
But did you see this CEO of some company? I forgot what it was.
Don't hug up with the chick.
He got caught at a Coldplay concert.
Astrophysicist or something.
He's an astrophysicist.
Some shit like that. Astronomer.
That means he's important as
Yeah.
fuck. And
Like
he just
CEO, astronomer.
he just
or something.
even the
That's the
smart
name of
niggas
the
be
company, I think.
even the smart niggas be cheating.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But yeah, they were all hugged up, and then the announcer was like, oh, they must be, and they must either they cheating or
no.
they shy or whatever.
That nigga
Like,
gonna get fired. Yo, word of my man. Yeah, he gonna get fired.
he ducked down and she turned around and was covering her face. But she not married though. She divorced because they was talking about it on Clubhouse. Somebody looked it up. So she was divorced in 2022. I think it was finalized. But the guy.
But why is that? Why is that such a
changed-
big deal?
The
Though?
wife changed her last
Because
name.
she about to get half of his money.
The wife changed her last name on social media.
Really?
Just for getting some pussy, she gonna get half. She was waiting for this day. I feel like she changed her name
And
too quick.
she got a fake ass position. What the fuck is a chief people officer? Like, he just gave her a position so he could fuck her, yo. Like, cause what the heck? I ain't never heard of that. I mean, maybe
say that
it
again,
is
chief. What?
I don't know. I didn't. Well, y'all look this up because somebody said this on call. Like they was looking stuff up because we were talking about it up there, and they was like they were reading the article, and that's what it said. And they was like, "It's a chief people officer." She was like, she got a made up ass position too. What the fuck is that?
Chief of the people. She chief of them balls. Yo, that's sick.
Speaking of work, Afeni Muhammad.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on that? Afeni Muhammad is a 26-year-old girl from Detroit who was working. Well, she's not from Detroit. She was working at McDonald's in Detroit, and I guess she was a little disgruntled because her boss took her off the schedule 2 days in a row, and she made a post talking about it. And then a day later, there was an assault. She stabbed her 15 times.
Oh man, you gotta be the staff.
15 times. She got a ski mask on.
She Jason.
She was, she did the whole nine and was apprehended by a civilian that had a firearm.
Yeah, he held her at gunpoint. She was like, and then she made a video saying that the girl was a bully, the manager or whatever. She would be talking junk to her, and she was like, if she cut her hours 2 days in a row, or she sent her home 2 days in a row, and she was like, the second day I came in to make up the other hours, and she still sent me home. Or whatever. So she came back the same day actually. Like she said, she went in the park and sat there, and then she went home and came back. She walked in. I said the drive-through before, but she actually walked in, and she had a ski mask on, and then she just started stabbing the lady, and then the people tried to get her off, and they almost got stabbed.
I'm sorry.
But then I think it was a customer. He chased her down because she ran outside.
That's fucked up. That's
and
bullshit.
then he held her at gunpoint. Now, I have a question. That's kidnapping, to my knowledge. Cause he held her at gunpoint. You can't do that, even though you trying to catch the person, and she is crazy. And I feel bad because she got mental issues. I really believe, and there was other videos that came out. There's something wrong with her. Obviously, something wrong if you stab somebody 15 times. Like that's like, what's going on in your mind. But she was dealing with a lot. But he need to be some charges, a fine or something. You're not supposed to do that.
Right.
But they ain't even gonna do
But
shit.
but is he a hero?
But you can't break the law. That even though.
So what if she went out and stabbed somebody else?
Right.
Even though he
I
think.
I mean, I'm looking from your perspective. Why do you think he deserves to be punished if he probably did a service?
Because that's against the law.
I understand.
Somebody has got arrested for
sometimes people break the law to help other people. Would a person feel like justice isn't served because we would have been in a worse situation had this person not intervened and broke the law or cut the corner? But laws are there for a reason, so they could still, go to prison for it. But do we really?
Prison, but like a fine.
Yeah, but do we think they should be punished when they've done a good deed? I don't think nobody should be punished if they've done something good. But if he shot her, then we would have a different discussion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like he just couldn't wait to shoot this black girl. We had to start pulling the race card. We go down that.
But they
path.
have though.
Right. But they have. But in this instance, if we're gonna talk about real time situation,
like, they have people have got charged when it was like they did a good thing, but they broke the law, so they got some charge. I ain't saying they need to go to. They don't have to go to jail.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
I think they should change it.
But look, if this
that is the law.
Sometimes, okay, had she gotten away, they probably wouldn't have found out who did it. She had a mask on. She probably had gloves on or something. I mean, they could have assumed, but there's several things. It would have been an OJ case. The girl is huge, right? She's way bigger than the girl. The other girl's like this. Yeah, she had the knife, but then it depends on how did she get on her. Did she get her, like, stabbed her behind her, or was it, POV, like she looking at her and stabbed her? Like, how was it? Because that means something. And then she would have to say, damn, she couldn't overpower this little girl, like, you know what I mean? Because she could have just, what I say, you know what I mean? Like,
I would have stabbed to the gut.
I mean, when you feel, but see, that's the thing. When you feel that pain, right?
And
you could have that, you could feel that pain and it could incapacitate you, or you could feel that pain and adrenaline would rush. So then when the adrenaline is rushing, then now you're not trying to get stabbed again. You stabbed me one time, let me try use whatever little strength I have to stop you.
Or natural epinephrine.
Right, but sometimes it depends. There's certain areas that you could cut somebody where they won't be able to do anything. Like you puncture somebody like in here or something, like they won't be able to move, be shaking.
Yeah,
shit. You cut the back of their ankle, their Achilles.
That's
you know what I mean?
How many times she gets stabbed?
15, bro.
It was personal because she was like, you can't be playing with people. You can't be playing with people. Like, this is not funny. Like, people need their money. People got bills to pay. People got stuff to do. Like, you can't.
But she can't be playing with
So she said this before. Like, she had a red wig on.
Playing with her freedom. Cause that's crazy.
She said this before she did it.
Yeah, I bet. But that's why I would have moved a little cautious, because you can't take idle threats. Like, especially in that field, it's like she could get to you. It's not like you talking online. She see you every day or every time you come to work. So you gotta be fair to people at least, and you know what I mean. Don't let no personal shit make you. I mean, well, it's different because if she's a manager at McDonald's and they told her, yeah, you gotta start cutting somebody's hours.
So let's give her a verdict, because we all got different sides of the coin when it comes to being in that corporation lifestyle. Like, from being a, like, you know, the maybe entry level or maybe like, you know, just below supervisor or something like that, to having a supervisor and knowing how it is and all the pressures from work.
Right.
Let's give ourselves like a team verdict, like if we were a jury. When we throw the book at this young lady, she's 26. She took out a mother of 6. This was her boss at McDonald's. She said that she was a bully. She used that term exactly.
Yeah.
She was a bully, and you know, I'm not gonna this is not gonna happen. Something's gonna happen to her.
Right.
And just seeing the type of person that she was, her living conditions,
Right,
things coming out about her having a roommate,
She better off in jail.
and her roommate.
That's my verdict. She better off in jail.
Right, but she did this before.
Right. She
was
need to stay in jail and get
Look
her
at
life together. If she don't
Go
try
to
to
look
better
at her.
herself,
I think she
in
needs to
jail,
go to a mental health facility.
yeah, for sure. But she
That-
definitely got
where
to
they
serve
can
some time.
run
You gotta
tests
have
and
you
figure
gotta
out
have
what-
sympathy for the victim, even if this person was a bully. They didn't take you
Yeah,
out.
and she has
They didn't
6
take your life.
kids.
They gave you an opportunity. She could have probably fired you, but she sent you home.
She could have beat her
So you
up,
still had a job.
or at least hit her with something.
If you beat her up, you still lose your job. Like
I
you
mean,
needed your
you gonna
money.
lose your job regardless.
You crashed
if
out.
you target.
What I'm saying, you crashed out because of your job.
Right.
So you just didn't care anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Go
You
to
know,
jail.
so throw the book
Because
at
you
her.
lost
Look
it
at her.
anyway.
Throw the book at
That's a fact.
She need to go to a mental health facility.
her.
They
I heard
gonna fuck her
y'all
up.
having
It's
an
gonna be
argument.
weird,
I don't
man.
want it to go mad long, but I heard y'all having an argument earlier.
Oh,
Thug versus good guy. Is that what y'all was?
Doug versus good
No,
guy. What?
Thug versus good guy.
Oh, Thug. I thought you said Doug, like Doug Funny. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, caught those Sky Davis ears.
You heard?
Yeah. Nah, but I heard y'all talking about that, like talking about like a dude, like I guess like a hood dude versus a good dude.
I just think there needs to be an awareness with young ladies that says, okay, certain men have certain lifestyles, so am I willing to be a participant of this lifestyle, or do I need to stay away from this person because he might lead me down a path that I don't want to go around? You see what I'm saying? That was my main point with that whole situation. I just want there to be an awareness from young ladies coming up, because a lot of girls say they like bad guys. And you see what I'm saying? And that could turn out bad for them.
Can I interject? I want to ask you a question. Do you think
right? The music, right?
Do you think? I'm trying to word this correctly. Do you think thugs shouldn't get relationships, or do you think thugs could have a relationship just like anybody else as long as they have transparency? What do you think?
I think anybody that has love and genuinely capable of providing and, you know what I'm saying, like caring about somebody is capable of anything. But I do believe that people that just want to smash and just have a whole bunch of desire and lust in their heart, they shouldn't be in relationship, because you're going to let that girl down most likely. Especially if you were raised without a father figure, so you don't even know what that looks like, and you go into a situation where it's like, you know what I mean, you're emotional because you was raised by your mom, and then, you know what I mean, you crash out, and you know what I mean, there's just so many factors when it comes to good development and bad development.
So specifically thugs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most thugs don't have.
I'm saying them, that demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes shouldn't have relationships. I'm asking you. Yes or no?
No, not if their intentions is just to fuck.
What do you think?
I don't think they should be in a relationship.
What do you think as a woman?
Do you think that just because
Same question.
you think that if they're a thug that they're not going to be
I think
a real relationship?
No, they're not going to be committed. No, I don't think a thug is going to be committed in a real relationship.
There are
What's your
people
answer?
that are
I
in
don't believe that.
relationships
What's your
that
answer?
have been.
Ooh.
What's your answer? Why you not answering it? You acting like it.
What's the question?
Should they have relationships? Thugs.
Yeah, everybody needs somebody.
Oh shit, and that's the problem. And that's why all these babies
Can't make this shit
all
up.
these babies is being fucking abandoned.
Shout out to KS.
Let them
Shout out to KS.
let them have it.
I don't think that's
be
true
hating
for
on
all of them. There are
Most
some
of them,
of
G.
them are married. And what do you mean by a thug? Has he been?
Nah, just
I don't
thug. You
mean
know what a thug
someone
is.
that's in jail or going to jail.
I mean,
or
you a
something.
thug.
A thug is a
You
thug.
could
Not
be
a
reformed.
non-reformed person.
Right.
A thug
And that's the
active.
thing. If you choose not to deal with a certain archetype of individuals, they're going to conform. Look at women. Look at what women do to impress men. Look what men do to impress women.
Right.
Like you have to look at the dynamics for what it is. The dating pool is right in front of you. Everybody sees it. Everybody hears about it online. Some people are surprised, like, oh, not me, grass pearls. It happens. This shit is really going on right now. It seems like I'm trying to squash the beef, but it really seems like it's gender war everywhere.
Everybody needs love. Fat chicks, ugly chicks, pretty chicks,
but
fat
dudes. I'm not saying that nobody deserves it. But let me say this.
Rich.
We cannot continue to reward bad behavior, right?
Right.
So what women are doing is perpetuating the same thing. You don't want us. So a woman that has scantily clad clothing, she gets treated like a 304. We're gonna treat her like a 304 because she's not understanding. This is how women that act like this get treated, right? The women that are being more modest, why are dudes marrying them? Because they want the woman that seems like she has decorum. She's a lady. They want that. Right. And we've been saying it, and you're gonna see it in the numbers. You're gonna see how this affects our culture. But if you have dudes that are doing bad things and there's no fathers in these households, the only way to change this is by stop rewarding the bad behavior, by dealing with Pookie and Ray Rays and being upset that they're not making $100,000 a year. They're not going to make $100,000 a year because they have you. Right. They don't have to work hard because they have you. They don't have to do anything. And they don't care that you don't cook because you're letting them stay there for free. They can eat all the kids' fruit snacks. They can eat all the Pop-Tarts with the butter on that they want.
You know what I mean? You should not be taking care of nobody if you're a grown adult. You shouldn't be taking care of a grown person, but it happens casually for men dealing with a woman. If you choose to do it, that's one thing, but it shouldn't be an expectation.
And men will assume that role if the right woman is in their life. Now, what I put most of the time in these arguments, I always say men hold men accountable, women hold women accountable. But the problem is women are not holding women accountable. They don't even have the sisterhood is not holding the sisterhood accountable. They're, oh no, sis, it's not your fault. He ain't a good man. But this nigga go to work, he do everything, he made a mistake. And it's not even gonna be, we're not even gonna say cheating. He lost his job. You know what I mean? But he's trying to get his shit together. Oh, I can't deal with no broke ass nigga. He da. But yo, he just lost his job. He's been working for the corporation for several years, yo. You know how hard he worked at this job. You know what I mean? And they fired him on some bullshit. You ain't gonna stand behind your dude that supported you because he fell to hard times. A lot of women won't do it. And then when you ask them to give you a timeline on it, how long will you deal with a broke dude? They can't do it. They're disingenuous with it because they can't tell you an actual timeline. And they want to say all this La La Land shit like it isn't a timeline when you know damn well it is. You're not going to deal with this for more than 2 years. If you can help it. Especially nowadays, women talking about they strong and I can take care of myself, and if I'm making this, you can't be making $5,000 more because that's not gonna help. If he's giving that to you, that's gonna help. That's $5,000 more than what you got. What the fuck are you talking about? Like sometimes it becomes that way because on both ends there's a delusion. Like even with men, and this is why I say hold them accountable. A lot of niggas are fucking crybabies. You know what I mean? A lot of times we have to just be like, yo, fucking life is lifing. Get the fuck up and get going. No, if my job is hard and my boss is a dickhead and I don't go to HR about it or some shit like that, and then that's on me. I can't be like, I'm quitting this fucking job. I can't deal with how to fucking talk to me without going up the chain, without doing anything else, without finding another job, what we gonna call that nigga? A bum. Because why the fuck are you giving into your emotions? And this is the problem. oh, men are too. That's what the fuck you want. You don't want a man that can't deal with fucking problems and figure out a fucking solution. Right. You want a dude that practices what he fucking preaches. If you going through a hard time, then you follow the fucking the protocol to that shit. You figure out the solution. You can't sit there and whine about shit, and that's the problem with this era. We're raising men to be like, oh well, I didn't make the team, so I'm never gonna play basketball again. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck are we teaching these kids, man?
Who's we? It's them. But
I'm just saying society, because we're a part of society.
Right.
So I mean, we have peers that we might look at, and we know that they're moving a certain type of way. Like, bro, like what the fuck? And we don't hold them accountable. That's why I said men have to hold men accountable. I will hold my boys accountable. If they ask me of all people about something, I'm not gonna lie to them and say, nah, my nigga, nah, you know you right, bro. You know, no, I'm not gaslighting my bro. If you my boy, I feel like I owe it to you, because you my mans, to tell you, bro, that's not it.
Right.
You feel me? And then they move accordingly. And I would hope that they would do the same for me, because that's how we build a brotherhood.
Right.
Like they got the sisterhood. Because every fucking time a chick do something wrong, oh, she not wrong. Well, this nigga did this. Like, it's always that, because it's like nobody want to hold, like, I'm saying right now, firmly, I hold niggas accountable. I don't give a fuck what women say about women, because really the idea is men have to understand women.
Women are compassionate, though.
They really are.
So they're going to definitely stick up for what resonates with them. That's
Absolutely.
why women are so, like, Mama Bear is so protective.
I dig their passion, too. It's...
But one thing I did want to say, when we say certain words, like I remember you said something about like women don't want no bum, and that's so true. And it's like, because that word has a bad connotation with it, right? And I feel like the reason why you said thug was because thug is more of, like, at least by the definition, it's more of a violent, aggressive person, especially somebody who's a criminal. So not just that they're a criminal, they're violent and aggressive. That's not who wants relationships or who should be in relationships. Violent, aggressive criminals. You see what I'm saying? Like if we want to be honest with ourselves, hold on. If we want to be honest with ourselves, that there has to be that awareness from women, like I was saying earlier, that says, you know what? I know this is gonna end up bad because I'm not from that lifestyle, and I'm inviting myself into his lifestyle, knowing that he's a violent, aggressive criminal.
Angela Simmons.
Right.
Bonnie and Clyde.
That his example was closer to accuracy though, because not every female is built to be Bonnie. Because Bonnie was a bad bitch. Like let's call it what it was. Bonnie was a bad bitch. She was like, she knew what the nigga was about. She was like, nigga, I'm with it. I'm with you to the end type shit. That's solid. But fucking Angela Simmons now, like, she's not with that life. She's just attracted to that life. And then she's trying to change.
No, she attracted to the man because of what that life made him. Like the way he probably is, like his energy.
100%.
Not necessarily what he's into, not the stuff that's gonna get him in trouble. But you have to behave a certain way if you are part of that. You
but that's part of the problem,
an aura about you, like that is like the essence of masculinity within that. Take away the criminal activity and shit. It's just a way of being of that they are, and that's what women are attracted to. There's not a lot of men that I've been meeting that's like that, and that's typically comes from, unfortunately, with people that, because nowadays it seems like dudes is just like, they don't have, like we said, stoicism. They don't know. They're not gonna protect you. They scared to protect themselves. The chick gotta be in charge and stuff. I don't want that type of relationship. I want a man that's gonna lead, and typically they have leadership qualities, and that's what the attraction is. It's who they are within, not the shit that they do with that.
Can I ask you a question? Don't you think that shit is romanticized from like shows like Power and shit?
I don't think it's romantic. I mean, it could be, but if you're, how old are we when we come out? Like, I mean, when
you
that
could be
came out,
old.
we were already grown, so you already was, you liked what you liked already at that point.
Right.
If for kids watching it, that's an adult show. They shouldn't be watching that again, back to back.
Still doing a power play.
Kids shouldn't be watching or being power. And if you
Right.
grown, you already.
No, I'm not talking about kids. I'm just saying that.
If you grown, you already doing whatever you're doing.
Right, but this is what I'm saying, right? So
that's not good. That shouldn't influence your.
What I'm saying, the point that I was trying to make is that lifestyle gets romanticized, and as soon as it's romanticized, it's normal. Once it becomes normal, then, like you said, there's women that get attracted to something, and because she's seen it on Power, she kind of wants to live that lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? It's not that she couldn't, but at the end of the day, if you're exposed to some shit and you romanticize it, if you watch a Power and you like the nigga from Power Ghost from Power and you're romanticizing about all the shit that he's doing. Listen, knowing that he's not a good person, knowing that if I have relations with this person and I catch feelings with this person, I may be exposed to a certain lifestyle that should technically turn you away, right? Logically, but emotionally it doesn't. So as a woman, you have to say, I need to use my logic in this situation and not let my desires lead me astray. But y'all don't. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when certain things get romanticized, it don't matter if you're young, it don't matter if you're old. It's just easier when you're younger. But when you're older, like you say, you're stuck in your ways. So if you don't even see it as a tactic, then you're going to fall victim to it.
No, everybody has a desire to maybe get in a big person. Like I said, I don't want no criminal or whatever, because I'm not gonna be watching over my shoulder, making sure I get caught. I don't get caught in the crossfire or something. And we was on Clubhouse, and they asked him, we asked him, would you jump in front of if your wife or your girlfriend, like people were shooting, would you jump in front of it to save your girl or your wife, your woman or your wife? And he was like, my girl. And I was like, oh, what would you do? Would you do it? He's like, man, that's some fairy tale shit or whatever. And I was like, how's that fairy tale? Like, he was like, name me one person that you know that did it. I said, I don't know nobody personally like that I can look at that I know or something. But there are people. That's why there's heroes. There's like a such thing.
Yeah.
Not even
Movies.
just for their fans. No, because then I looked up. There's a man in the Washington Post. He jumped in front of in a parking lot of a establishment. I forgot what it was, but it was in the Washington Post. And he jumped in front of the bullet and he got shot and killed, and protecting his wife.
Yeah, people do it, but it's not. I don't think it's as common as you may think it is.
I mean, yeah, because people not just be getting put in that situation.
Right.
Either.
Right. Or they do and they don't protect their ass, and they tell the story like, hey, well, I had to survive. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it depends on the individual too.
Right.
Because every man is not necessarily a hero. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can't just like assume that role, but sometimes people do have acts of heroism in the moment. Maybe they feel like they should do something and they just go for it and they take a risk. Sometimes it works, like the guy in Walmart. Sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if you remember that situation, but there was a situation in Walmart, maybe last year sometime. Dude goes into Walmart. The guy was arguing with his girl, and the dude intervenes like, yo, don't talk to a woman like that or whatever.
Well, I seen that. Yeah.
White knighting, you know what I mean? And then he ends up losing his life. There's certain situations where there's heroism and there's stupidity. You know what I mean? Like, if a dude jumped in front of a bullet to save his wife, nobody's gonna knock that guy down. Like, he's a hero in everybody's book, right? But if a dude just jumped in front of a bullet to save somebody else's woman, and he's with this woman. Stupid.
Yeah, I would be
That's
mad.
stupid.
You'd be
That's-
happy if you got saved, though.
That's literally what happened in Walmart. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
No,
That's a
I'm
good
saying
Samaritan.
That was my husband. I'm like, nigga.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
crazy.
you're
Like,
the
mind your business, cause they're gonna have hate sex and
That's how
It's
you know we black.
admirable, but I
That's
ain't
how
trying
you
to
know we black.
lose you. Like, we could call the people.
Real talk. Nah, that's solid.
But yeah,
Like, I can't be mad at you about it, but I'm gonna be mad to an extent if you did that.
And then why was the shooter trying to shoot his wife specific? Was it like a stray bullet or was it intentional?
I don't even
It was
know.
an assassin.
Yeah, because
It was somebody
His name
from
was
it was
Mike
somebody from the motherhood, right? It was, she has the best cookies in the neighborhood, and she was like, oh, this bitch gotta go down.
The motherhood.
Yeah, you know how they be having bake-offs. Let me stop. That's not nice.
Who's the motherhood? Who's
They put a head on her. The motherhood is crazy.
They was hating
Who
on
is
her.
the
The
mother?
motherhood,
Are
if the
those
motherhood
women?
comes for you, yeah, mothers.
Just mothers?
Mothers.
So
yeah.
you just made
Because there's a
that up?
sisterhood that's just women.
You just
Sisterhood.
And
made
then the
that
motherhood
up.
is mothers.
That's
What do you
it.
mean I just made that up?
You
And
did.
that-
Nobody.
But
no,
that's the
motherhood
thing.
is a word,
That's
but
the
not
thing.
how you're using
The
it.
motherhood. Yeah, you talk about motherhood like in the act of being a mother, but the motherhood has to be a thing
I
if
ain't
there's a sisterhood.
Nobody said it. That's
It's got to
a
be
new
the
term.
fatherhood too.
Yeah, fatherhood.
There's a fatherhood. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just the
The brotherhood.
I think you
Yeah.
gotta say group or something.
The brotherhood.
Yeah. A
Fatherhood.
meeting with the brotherhood.
Yeah, cause that sound like it's nefarious.
Yeah.
The brotherhood sound nefarious.
The
to me
fatherhood sounds
sometimes.
good though. That
Exactly.
That has a
The
ring to
fatherhood
it.
sounds
The
good.
fatherhood.
But the motherhood sounds weird, dude. It
But
do
you
sound
did
weird.
just make that up because
I did make it up. I'll take credit.
The motherhood.
Yo, we got
That's
a few minutes, but I want to get 2 spicy topics in there.
Alright.
But I want to pick your brain. I know y'all gonna want to go hard with this one.
What?
What's worse, misogyny or misandry?
What the fuck is
Who-
misandry?
Oh, you don't know what it is.
No.
It's the opposite.
All right, so
Misogyny?
give them
Misogyny is one
give them
way?
the definitions, and then it's very simple.
Okay.
Wait, give them the definitions, and then tell me why you think
It is.
which one is worse, or if whatever.
Misogyny is an extreme dislike or hate towards women that of coming from men.
Right.
And then
Well,
misogyny is
It's not just coming from men; it could be from anybody. A woman could be a misogynist.
Okay.
and the same for a woman, like an
Is
extreme
misandry?
dislike or hate towards men.
Right.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So which one is worse? Is hate towards
I think they're
Men?
equally both because
Okay.
it puts us both against each other. You shouldn't. How the hell are you hating each other and we're supposed to be together to create families and stuff? That shouldn't be. And I think a lot of people throw those words around because when people have certain talking points or when we're having certain discussions and people's ideology, they'll say negative things about the opposite sex. And because they're saying these things, it'll give the impression that they're a misogynist or a misandrist when they're just voicing their opinion from their experiences or from talking to other people and stuff and hearing things that they say. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that they hate them because they're still getting involved and some people are still trying to get into relationships. But I think we need to stop this like throwing that word around a lot because unless a man is like beating on women and that's what he does and he's just an abuser and he doesn't, he's just a messed up individual or whatever, and a woman and she's cussing you out and telling you what she can't say, or she say that she hate men not because she's hurt because she talk about her experiences, so you think because if she hated them or if he hated her, then they wouldn't be still dating, that we're gonna be a part of the community. If you're if you're heterosexual, then you're going to be with the opposite sex. So how can you hate them? I mean, but people do hate. Some people do hate each other, or they'll say they hate each other, but they'll sleep with each other. How could you sleep with somebody that you hate? That's crazy. but that's like makeup sex or like angry sex or something. You had an argument and people be doing that, but I don't know. But yeah, you shouldn't have neither one. It's both detrimental to the betterment of the community.
How about you?
I believe, what's the woman hate one?
Misandry.
I think misandry is worse because there's more disgruntled women that are already tired of men and they control the babies. Men, can have kids, but I feel like predominantly the women raise the children. So if the women raise the children and they have that mentality, is more of a detriment to society because women basically are more consumers than men. So whatever whatever they say goes basically, and we follow their lead. So I think it's more of a detriment coming from a woman because the women are having these families, and how many people we know are saying they're saying that it's imperative that you get the father out of the household and have a kid without. You see what I'm saying? I think he was telling me something about somebody having that mentality like, yo, let's just what I mean, I just need a sperm donor. Like, that's the narrative of that lifestyle. And I feel like if it's in the hands of coming from women, and women are make more, or they're the majority of this planet other than men, then it's going to be more detrimental coming from them than coming from the men. Because one thing that's not going to stop, I don't care what you're on, niggas is going to, try to get some pussy. And if the women have the key to that, or they have that's the access point, then it's like they control the narrative. So I think it's more imperative coming from that side specifically.
All right. So I like both of your answers, um, because I really wanna explain more on those definitions because you gotta think about it. It's um, it's a hatred towards a gender.
Right.
So I think taken away from the value in it, and it wouldn't be helpful to think anyone any hatred is better than any other hatred. I think like understanding like I kind of I have to agree with Erika actually, where both of them are equally as bad because it's a hatred. You know what I mean? It's not. There's nothing good that's about it. And even if we could say if a woman hates men, so what? Men are still here. We're stronger. We're faster. You know what I mean? So we could still overpower them, but we can't have a disdain towards women because they need us to protect them from other men, right? So we can't hate them and they can't hate us because we need each other. We benefit from each other. So like it, I can't really honestly say that one is worse than the other, but I can say that they weaponize our biological differences against us. Like for instance, um, because a man is, you know, he's stoic. He doesn't really show his emotions that much because he whatever. He's chastised for that. Oh, why you not more emotional? Why you not that? And he's like okay with it. Like he lives his life okay with that. It's just having a woman come into your life and provide a peaceful lifestyle on top of the madness will give you a longer, more fulfilling life. As long as she don't bring drama into your life or she don't, oh, I got this dude I need you to fight or some stupid shit. As long as she not doing stuff like that, y'all can have a pretty productive relationship. I think the disconnect is like it's always like I was watching an argument between Andrew Wilson and a woman that's a feminist who claimed to have an IQ of 150 or something like that, whatever. He made her rage quit because basically the same discussion that we're saying, her ideology is that um, misogyny is worse than misandry. Women are better leaders. You know what I mean? She's all over the place. And couldn't sit there and have a conversation because she didn't like what he was saying, his viewpoints on things, which is okay. But she was just talking to him like he was her son or something, like really like talking to him any crazy kind of way, and got upset because he was like, you're saying that misogyny is better, misogyny is worse, but you're also saying that a patriarchal society is the worst thing that could ever happen, but you benefit from the patriarchal society.
Wait, you said which one you said is worse, Chris?
The one with the woman hating the men.
Yeah.
I think that there's just more women that control their families, and it's more of a detrimental to society that way.
But I'll land my plane there.
What was the last thing you said?
What?
Yeah.
He was just basically saying that she was saying that women are better leaders, and we should have a matriarchal society, and basically saying that, oh, we need men to protect us from other men. And then he was saying, well, you benefit from the patriarchal society, so why would you not want it if you need it? You know, so.
Who said that?
Andrew Wilson.
Who is he?
He's just some dude at the base. He's usually on this thing called Whatever Podcast.
Oh.
He was on Piers Morgan.
Okay.
Crazy dude. But what was going on with Nikki and SZA? What was that about?
And then Nicki Minaj said she gonna call the CIA on somebody, some guy, because he got involved in the conversation. CIA. He was like, "Don't start because I'm gonna put you in the blender like your boy."
That means that she knows some weird stuff is going on, and she chose not to say anything until now. That's a little suspect.
But the CIA?
Yeah.
She got connections like that? Like, really?
No, she messaged them online or something.
But, you know, I do think that she has power to do certain things, though, because there was videos of...
They do be meeting the president and stuff like that.
No, I'm just saying because of her influence. Like, her shit, like, there was people... Remember when she was beefing with Meg and they was dancing on her dead mother's grave? I was like, yo...
Oh, the Barbs.
Yeah, she could have easily been like, yo, I don't support that. And I think she posted it.
Well, the Barbs,
like, yo, like,
the Barbs be out there, yo. They be spying. They be like, yo, let me hear you say something about my girl. Like, don't play those games. Academics learn the hard way, yo. They will find you in the mall. Like, what you say about Nikki last time? Like, you don't know who's a Barb.
You know, you gonna know. There's a lot of people from the community and that.
About Drake. Remember them boys trying.
Oh yeah.
They don't play with Drake. Yeah. Don't go to Canada talking about Drake like it's sweet.
And they pulled up on Joe Budden. Remember? He was chasing him down with it. That shit was funny.
Yeah, to go get his car back.
He was trying to hurt them boys. What? He wasn't just trying to get his car back. He was trying to hurt them boys.
They should have been hurt. Because why not kill, but bust on the side of the head a little bit. Then you want to learn, knock a tooth out or time. Next time, stop.
Bust you in your head, knock your tooth out.
Fuck on him because they
Casanova.
Team Drizzy. They said I'm OVO. Fucked up. Team Owl and whatnot.
That car was nice.
Remember when Joe Budden used to dream walk? What was they call that shit? I wonder if he got a hold of that.
He was dream walking?
Joe Budden
sleepwalking.
Joe Budden's be Oh no, I wasn't thinking about Joe Budden. I was thinking about Fat Joe.
Oh, Fat Joe different. Yeah. Fat Joe too.
Nah, Fat Joe like he fighting with the FBA again.
Who?
The foundational
What
black.
he say this time? He up there with Jada. How much? Yo, he's a nigga. Let's just.
Yo,
you know what I mean? I know he's
'cause
light
he-
skinned, but he's
Because
a
he was
nigga,
like,
yo.
he was like Puerto Ricans, well, Hispanics created hip hop.
Well,
they helped create hip hop.
if he's black, then he's right. He's Puerto Rican and he's Cuban, right?
He whatever you want to be.
He's Puerto Rican.
Yo, because
I think his dad is Cuban.
it just be funny, like, because
he do look like his Cuban nigga.
Like-
Then he said he beat up. He said he robbed his whole gym.
Oh, yeah, I
all
heard
the
of that
people
shit.
in the gym
That
when
is
he was
funny
in
as fuck.
school,
He probably
and
did.
some of the people he robbed helped him get all the stuff because it wasn't.
Yeah, they was in on it.
Why the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, they wasn't in on
He
it?
said the people that some of the people
help
that
me
he
steal your
robbed
stuff.
help him carry it. That just sounds dumb as hell. Like
He probably gave
They
some.
ain't help him carry it. He made them carry it. How about that?
Yeah, made him is different.
That just sounds dumb anyway. How you rob? And then how many people could be in? And then people were in the comments. I don't live out there or whatever, but they were like, you can't even have that many because the amount of people he said, like, you can't even have that many. Like, it would be the class that you're in.
Somebody would have told on his
Or
ass.
whatever.
He was like, teacher,
Like,
he's trying to rob us
So
all.
he lied because he said like 70 people or some shit. Like he robbed everybody.
And he
You
got
one
$2
person.
from-
You ain't have no gun either.
And he got
Like,
$2
get the
from
fuck
everybody
outta
for French Fries Friday. He was out there caking, you heard me?
You took their jackets.
And got $140
Got
$140 in 10.
He was a big bully.
But 70 people and you didn't have nothing.
Because nobody.
He told Roger
nobody
Klotz to eat his
nobody
heart out.
look at it like this. Look at it like this.
Yeah.
We live in a country that bullies us, right? And we have enough of us to get together and try do whatever we gotta do.
Yeah,
But we
there was
won't do it.
70 people. That sounds dumb. Somebody
That's what I'm
gonna
saying.
have to
People didn't
or
band
you
together
only need a few
because they was too
to
afraid.
get
Because they was too afraid.
70 people though.
They was too afraid. We got millions of people.
But it was
Same
70.
thing.
Millions of people. What we gonna do?
I don't know. What was they gonna do? Shit.
Defend themselves. What?
We'll
So
defend ourselves. There's millions of ways we could do it.
defend ourselves.
We talk about it
against
every
what? We
weekend
don't
about
even
what we
know
can
what's
do.
the objective.
But we don't do it.
What's the objective? What are
The
we
objective
protecting
is to
ourselves from?
strengthen our families by staying with the person you knock up.
Right. We don't have no kids. So. Sometimes it don't work out.
They said they drug tested Bronny after that dunk. Yo, they do too much, nigga. I know he LeBron's son, but you go drug test him after a dunk is crazy.
Cause
He was up there,
because
but
he wasn't doing stuff. He wasn't really.
he's LeBron James, and he had to get comfortable. Like
He jumped
he
hard.
jumped
too.
hard as fuck,
That
bro.
was a nice one. He not even that tall.
He not. Well, he's like what, 6'2", 6'3"? I can't wait till the youngest goes in the league. He gonna be a KD. Mark my word. Like how KD play, he's gonna play similar to that.
Speaking of basketball, Megan Clay,
Who that?
Meg the Stallion and Clay Thompson.
Oh, Megan. Oh, okay.
Oh, they're together now?
Yeah.
I seen that.
That's just silly, bro. That's just silly. This is what I mean by niggas like picking the right person on females. I mean, she picked him because, you know, he a bowler. Yeah, he Clay Thompson. It's a good look for her. But to me, that's kind of weird as fuck. It's like, you see all of that shit that happened with Tori. You see how she lied to her man while she
He
was
just
with him
trying to
about.
hit that.
Right. He gonna have his fun. He better not
kissing
better
her
not
publicly.
Yeah, because he gotta do.
Yeah, he
gotta
probably
play
with
the game.
her,
He gotta
but
play the
he's
game.
not
He gotta
gonna.
get
That's
it.
not a long
You
term.
gotta get it.
To
That's
kiss
just to
somebody
have fun.
that
Some niggas
knowingly
get in
cheated on
relationships
you,
just
He
to
gotta
fuck
get
on-
it. You might have to
fuck
get
on
it.
this chick.
You know what I mean?
That's wild. There's a lot of weird stuff going on with these females, man.
Some dudes be dealing with like we gotta be honest with ourselves. Like we know that women have been with other people, And then when you're dealing with a woman that been with somebody else, you have to really think about that. Like, you probably kissing a joint that probably was kissing some dude's joint. You know what I mean? So you're gonna have to accept that. So like, I mean, I'm sure she brushed her teeth since then. You know what I mean, or whatever.
I think it's different when you know.
It's a mental thing.
When you know the nigga.
You know, in your heart, you know.
Like,
but you try to be like, you know.
I can't do it.
What's the word? In denial.
Especially if you chill with them niggas.
Because you love her, because you feel her so much, and it could be. I don't think Clay really love her.
That's my
Clay
wife.
Clay might be just playing the game and doing what he got to do until he get it. Now he done got it. So he gonna kiss her or whatever. It's gonna look crazy.
Girl, that's my world. She a slut hoe.
I think it's a lot of dudes. I think it's a lot of dudes that would smash.
Yeah, smash, but walk around like this is my lady.
What you gotta do? Look at Partisan, whatever.
She probably was like, I'm not fucking you unless.
Right.
I mean, but he left her.
Or he feel like
if you want it, and she put terms out, then
and
you probably not gonna get it unless you do whatever.
I think Party made out even in this situation because not only did she diss him like on record, he made his diss back and it wasn't corny. Like, it was good. It was like, yo, nigga, I'm more inclined to believe what he was saying on his diss than what she was saying on her diss.
The fact that you said it wasn't corny means that it was, because that's not how you say something.
I'm not gonna say it's fire. I can't say it's fire. I can't say all that shit was, you know what I mean? But I can say that I like this.
Dude dissing a woman, making a diss track against a woman.
I don't think it was a diss. He was just exposing the narratives that she was trying to play, and that's why I liked it. Because if he was a dude just dissing a woman, like, bitch, you stink, and that's kind of corny.
Because that's what Umar did.
Yeah, that's kind of corny.
Hit him up, hello?
Hit him up.
He's talking about Biggie.
And all the people said stuff about Lil Cam.
Yeah, talking about the whole
Lil C's.
Yeah. Talking about the whole crew.
So, but you like that song,
he quit
right?
to snatch your ugly ass off the streets. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do. I can't even.
He wasn't even talking really about her. He was really talking about Biggie.
About her.
And what hurts a man more than going.
I'm not saying that you can't talk bad about a woman, because some bitches and women is two different things. If you're talking about a bitch, I think you could talk about bitches, because bitches are devaluing themselves by calling themselves bad bitches anyway. So they don't have no standards that you hold up to a woman. Now, if we're talking about women, you can't say that, because what did a woman do? You see what I'm saying? If she's in her femininity, you can't go and say, oh, she a bitch, and because that's sucker shit. Right. But if she a bitch, if she promotes sex and lust, you could be like, yo, she's a bitch, and she promote. And that's not even what he did. He just was like, nah, you're not gonna have this certain narrative that's about me, and that's false. And I think that's solid. I think that was solid. Now, do I bump any of their records? No. But I would rather listen to his, because I believe his more than I believe her. I think she was just like, let me just do this for some clout, basically. When she made the song.
I gotta pick up me.
Alright, yeah, we gotta slide.
Slide to the left. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. Come on now.
Yo, y'all crazy.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. And everything we discuss will be in the description, and also the link to our clubhouse. Join our house on Clubhouse for more content. And you can have a conversation with us. Get lifted. Goodbye.
Peace.